Hello and welcome to all you Taurus people. How are you doing? I hope you're well. And I'm doing now the August readings for Taurus in January 2016. Now I want to talk about three things. The moment I started to do these videos, which is a couple of years ago, I always have integrated the fixed stars when they are very important and highlighted. And there is a fixed star being very important, so I'm going to talk about that. Then I'm going to talk about the very positive energy of Virgo in your fifth house, which is great for you, a fellow earth sign. And then I'm going to be talking about something that is not really known, that is called Antiscia. But let's get started with the more challenging energy, which is Mars and Saturn in your 8th house in Sagittarius. So this is not new. During the month of March, April and March, April, May, you already had Mars there in your 8th house, and then it went retrograde. So now again, Mars is in Sagittarius in your 8th house, and it's bumping into Saturn and bumping at 9 degrees of Sagittarius at the fixed star Antares. And Antares is associated on an individual level. When you do horary charts, for instance, it's associated with endings. So of course, on a collective level, it's associated with more than just that. But these are individual horoscopes. So this has to do with endings, and it's in the house of endings. The 8th house is transformation. So there's quite a possibility for you Taurians to end quite a lot of things. Not necessarily a relationship or something bad. No, something that is finished. The cycle has ended. And there is a new one to begin, very much with Mars and Saturn there at the same time. Now, Mars and Saturn together is not easy at all. And I could be talking to you about all the negative things, but what does that do? It's not going to help you going further. How can we use that challenging energy at its best? That is interesting. So, as I said, at its worst, this is completely irritation, frustration, and so on. In the 8th house is really a lot of psychology going on beneath the surface that you don't understand yourself, basically. But at its best, it's about working hard, battling step by step on a disciplinary way to encounter yourself, to understand yourself better on a deep emotional, psychological level. That's Mars and Saturn. Saturn is the master, and Mars is the energy, the drive. So it's mastering your drives, mastering your desires. This is basically it, because the 8th house is the house of desire as well, and the house of strength. So it's like fear versus strength. So you want to turn that into strength instead of fear. So there might be something for you Taurians that you are afraid of. And start with a little thing, to try to turn that around with a little step, attacking that basically. But taking your time, because Mars is there for August and September. So you've got the time to battle that. And you take very, very little, tiny little baby steps, and you will get there. So even when this is a little fear that you have of something, probably it's an imaginative fear. Because in the 8th house, people who've got Mars there are very often have imaginative fears. So fears that are not real. But, you can say, oh, it's not real. But hey, you feel it, right? So it could have to do with that. There's a lot of psychological growth for you going on if you take it step by step, if you don't want to take a shortcut, if you don't want things to evolve very quickly, then you can master this energy pretty well. So that's for the challenging part, let's say. Now there's a fun part going on for you as well. You Taurians out there, and you like to have fun. You're ruled by Venus, the planet of pleasure. And it's all in your 5th house. Again, the planet of pleasure. Venus, your ruler, actually is in there, and it's in its joy. According to that old traditional astrology, Venus in its joy, it means that it's feeling like it's in its element. So Venus enters Virgo, Mercury enters Virgo, The Sun at the end of the month will enter Virgo, and Jupiter is already there. So a huge positive boost of self-expression, which is in general the fifth house. Children, your connection with children, projects that you want to take, creative projects that you want to start, and it's a good thing to not start it too quickly, because you're going to have eclipses there as well in September. So take your time to explore them. And it's also romance. Also, for those of you who are looking for romance, or it's really, really, especially last week, is a fantastic week for you, because Venus and Jupiter, and even if you have a relationship, I mean, Venus and Jupiter in the fifth house do something nice: restaurants, cinemas, spa, having good foods, good drinks, enjoying yourself. This is all on Venus and Jupiter together in, I think it's on the 27th, but around that time, that last week is very enjoyable. You're gonna like that. And so yeah, you're gonna like that for sure. Also, when you start a new relationship, because a relationship doesn't start in the seventh house, it starts in the fifth house, with knowing each other, getting to know each other. If you're in that stage, it could be that you're a bit insecure, but that's not a big deal. Because why is that? Because all these planets who enter Virgo, they bump into Neptune Saturn square. So, and this square is still on up until, I think, it finishes slowly but surely at the end of September. So it's not long anymore. Hold on there. But it's that insecurity of like, the one week you think, this is great, this person is fantastic, this is a miracle. And then the other week you think, it's never gonna work. You know, that kind of insecurity between hope and between reality can be a bit on and off, but don't mind that too much. Again, there are going to be eclipses there in September, so you're gonna get clear about it, and you're gonna have Mercury retrograde in that house as well. So you're going to find clarity, but just take it as it comes, have the hope, don't judge too much, but at the same time be realistic. That's the energy that is needed at the moment. And last but not least, this energy has a lot to do with Antiscian sign in Aries as well. Why? Antiscian is the following. So the sign Virgo has its Antiscian sign in Aries. It is that way, you know. You can look that up, Antiscian. And the sign is divided into 30 degrees. So when you want to find the Antiscian point of, let's say, 1 degree of Virgo, it is 30 degrees minus 1, which is 29. It is 29 degrees of Aries, and so on. Why do I mention this? Because Antiscian signs are very much alike. They have a lot of affinity, like Aries and Virgo. I know a lot of you will say, what? What? Do they look alike? No, but under the surface they are, and they understand each other. So it's like a secretive understanding of each other. And who's there in Aries at the moment? Right, Uranus. And Uranus is at 23 degrees of Aries. So with all these planets, plenty of planets entering Virgo, especially when they're around 7 degrees, 30 minus 7 is 23, they all will trigger that Uranus under the surface. And that Uranus is in your 12th house, which is the house of letting go, which is the house of meditation, which is the house of finding your blind spots, which is the house of reloading the batteries. So there might be a relationship starting whilst you have a gut feeling that it's starting. I don't want to say a relationship in secret, but sometimes that happens, doesn't it? That you feel, yeah, something is starting here. It can have to do with that, because Uranus is a very fresh, exciting, new, unique energy. So it's activated. So for some of you, it means a new relationship starting, but it's not like all of a sudden out there, but it's like in secret. The little first steps are coming, and then when the eclipses come, it will be more clear. So that could be the case for you, that there's something in secret that has a very fresh new energy. And for others, it will have to do with new projects. So maybe you're thinking about your own working for yourself, for instance. That's also starting in the 5th house, your own projects. So it could mean that you still, you don't have the opportunity to say that all in the open, because it's not, the timing is bad. But it can mean that it's already there and developing. It's that kind of energy. So, lots of energies, lots of different energies for you Taurians. I wish you all the best with it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good month. Have a very, very good month. See you next month.